Yes, sir. What's up, good people? It's your boy, the boy Henry, back at it again with another video. Today, we've got a bombshell dropped upon us by PlayStation themselves. Boys and girls, the end of an era. The run is over. As of January 2028, PlayStation will not produce physical discs for the games any longer. So we've got about a year and a half to, engage in the hobby in that manner for those of us or for those individuals who do. Now, I've been primarily digital since Silent Hill 2 released. I played a lot on the PlayStation Portal, and at the time when it came out, I had grown annoyed with having to, physically switch the disc out when I wanted to play a different game, so it was just easier to just buy it digitally. It just was at that time. And that led me to buying every game digitally. So I am, as some would say, part of the problem. I'm the reasoning. I am that high 70s, 80% of people who engage in the hobby digitally. But that's not to say that I don't feel for or understand where the brothers and sisters who engage physically are coming from. I get their fears, I get their frustrations, and I understand it. It's understandable. And I do see how this could turn around and bite the all digital brothers and sisters in the tail. I do see, because now PlayStation has all the cards. They have all the power. They can do what they will. You can no longer go into a mom and pop game store. I have one locally, just celebrated 20 years. You can't go in there no longer 2 weeks after a game release and get it at a discount. That's not the case, And even as a digital gamer, up until this point, or up until January 2028, you had the option to go buy a physical drive and throw it on your Slim, throw it on your Pro, and then proceed from that point forward to be a physical gamer. You had that choice. Now you don't got that choice, or you won't have that choice, and it's kind of weird, because when you buying digitally and you're not really thinking about it, but then when something like this happens, they call you to sit back in your seat and say, interesting. A lot of people are outraged by this. A lot of people, though some, a high percentage, may be performative, obviously, because as per the numbers, most people do buy digitally. A lot of these people who are outraged now, I'm pretty sure a percentage of them did go out and spend that $100 on GTA 6, even if they didn't say it out loud. But this is one thing that is and can affect the industry as a whole. A lot of people threw out the closures and layoffs as it's the industry. No, because 9 times out of 10, you can look at that studio, look at their track record, see how their previous games performed, or see how long it's been taking them to not put a project out, and see like, all right, that makes sense. They hadn't put out a game in 8 years, or the last 2 games they put out didn't perform, so it makes sense that they had layoffs. It makes sense that the studio closed. It makes sense that they're on the chopping block. And then you can also look at other studios specifically and see them flourishing, seeing them put out new IP, see them put out sequels. So that isn't an industry problem. That studio made some bad decisions problem. But this can send a shockwave throughout the industry. Because if PlayStation ain't doing it, good and well some third parties it's over. PlayStation is a huge head inside of this thing, market leader inside of this thing. So what they do, others will follow. We already seen some reports of Xbox following suit, even though we do see a situation where they are potentially looking at a technology to digitize a physical library. We see that. Is it true? Who knows? And a lot of people have speculated that their next console was going to be all digital anyway. Some people thought that the PS6 would possibly be all digital, but it's all but official at this point when it comes to this, unless they're going to have some kind of other way to engage with a physical media Like, what you gonna get a game on an SD card and slide it in there, but then where does that leave you with your whole PS5 library? Now, sure, you may still have your PS5, and you can indeed still play those games, PS4 and PS5 on that. So this will be a fully non-backwards compatible system, unless you are a digital gamer. And one thing that, it caused me to think about was, shout out to the big homie Willie Trippers, name JP. He had made a statement in his video of, if I'm going to be something along the lines of, if I'm going to be forced to all digital anyway, then why wouldn't I just go to the platform that does digital better? And that got me thinking. Because the only thing that keeps a person from switching, or would keep a person from switching, is their digital library. Me, I don't have that problem. I have no qualms with leaving the library, because I don't go back and replay games. It's rare. One of my favorite games, top 5 Dead or Alive, is Vanquish. I only just went back and played and beat that. And I haven't played that game since the Xbox 360. Another game I'm going back and replay is Darksiders. I haven't beat that since 360. So if you're an individual like me, who I do play online, I enjoy multiplayer games, I enjoy them. I'm not really caught up in having my library, which I will have anyway, to be honest. I'm still gonna have I'm not getting rid of my console. So I still have it, but I'm not attached to the point to where I want all my stuff in one place. I don't have any qualms with starting anew. Because even if I go buy a game on Steam and I'm playing on Steam, I'm not touching that game again anyway after I beat it. I'm not. And there are some perks over there. You don't have to pay for online. Return policy is better. It's less risky to buy a game there. A lot of the times you can get a brand new game for a couple dollars off. Even $2-3 is still less than $70. So there are options there. They get more multiplayer games. They get more demo opportunities to try these games out. Steam Next Fest, demo plethora you can try before you buy. It's a lot of stuff over there to make an individual sit back and think like, And that is the problem. The minute a company has its consumers sit back and think to themselves like, let me look over here at this other option. A mistake has been made somewhere. And some people might say, oh, well, they're pulling games on PC. You won't get to play the next Spider-Man. I don't like Spider-Man. I'm not a Spider-Man fan. I don't care for the character. I don't care for the movies. Didn't care for the cartoon as a youth. I don't care. I don't care for the comics. It's just not a character I like. I don't care. Also, here recently, the outings of the first party. I'm just not that jazzed on them. I bought Sorrows. It was cool. It was fun. I didn't enjoy it enough to keep playing it. It's a cool game, but I'm not compelled to go cut my system on it and get to, Allow Faye looks cool, but if I miss out on it, I'm not gonna be hankering if I did miss out on it. Am I looking forward to the next Ghost of whatever? I didn't buy the last one. I did not buy the last one. And some people will say, oh, well, you're not a PlayStation fan anyway, so maybe you should. Maybe I should. Each of these studios, like your big studios, are only putting out one game a generation anyway, as it's shown, aside from Insomniac. And you can put Housemarque on them too. They put out 2 games this year. Guerrilla, 1 game a gen. Naughty Dog, 1 game a gen. Santa Monica, they're 1.5. And not to shit on them. Take as much time as you want to put out a great game. That's cool. But 3 games in 8 years, I don't know if that's enough. And there's no guarantee that I'm gonna like them 3-4 games. Max you may get 2 games a year from PlayStation. Max. And that's this year. We got Sorrows and we're getting Wolverine. and I'm getting Wolverine. I actually like that character. That's a character I like. So yes, I'm gonna engage with that. But what are they doing next? X-Men? When will that come out? Will it be good? Will it be performing? Yeah. Will it look good? Yeah. How will it play? We don't know. Lafayette looks cool. Will it be good? We don't know. Intergalactic. I ain't really seen enough to judge that, you know. And it's not even just the doom and gloom, because that's enough for a lot of people. Intergalactic will sell systems. That joint gonna be every bit of $80 probably. Digital, folks gonna lap that up. People are on GTA 6 a lot of these games. They don't care. They do not care. Even if they were to jump over to PC and Steam, if PS6 drop, and those games are exclusive to that, which probably won't be, let's be honest, it's going to be cross-gen for a good while, especially with the prices of things. I feel like people are going to be less likely to upgrade, especially the majority. So you're going to have at least 3-4 years of cross-gen. My guess. So people going to be playing that joint on 5. You know? But just looking at it from my perspective of how I engage with games, especially now, like a Steam sale, you're not finna get me a Steam sale. I'm not infatuated with buying a whole bunch of games I'm not gonna play. That's a waste in my opinion. I don't care how cheap they are. Because even if the game is $6, if I'm not gonna play it, then that's a waste. I just wasted $6. You know, a lot of people live for themselves, where they'll run out there and buy 20 games for $50, and I say, but if you ain't playing none of them, you just wasted $50. And that's not where I'm at. You know, I'm not doing that no more. Just buying stuff just to have it. I'm not a digital hoarder, as it were. But you know, some people are, and that's how they get down. But you know, a lot of people do that. It's not a selling point to me. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. Like I said, we got a year and a half before this does take place, and a year and a half for PlayStation 2 make a case as far as them fixing their return policy, adding whatever features, and making it worthwhile to that 15-20% who are physical to not go to Nintendo, not go to PC or whatever, because that is a compelling argument. That is a good question to be asked. If you're forced into digital, why not go to the best digital platform? You know, there's a case to be made. And I wouldn't go to Nintendo, they just don't, the type of games I'm interested in playing just ain't there in a large enough quantity for me to go over there. I'm not hankering to play the next Mario. I'm not hankering to play the next, Zelda. Even though I would play it, I'm not hankering. It's not anything that gets my juices flowing. The hair on the back of my neck isn't standing up to play stuff like that. I don't care about Mario Kart. I don't care about Donkey Kong. So, I wouldn't run and jump to that platform. I don't care if they are doing digital or whatever. It's just not a place I'm choosing to. It's just not a place that, I think about going when I get off work. They just don't have the stuff I'm interested in. And that's fine. It is what it is. Nintendo works well for a lot of people. But, I'm not going to drag it out any longer. That's pretty much the long and the short of it. Just wanted to get my thoughts out on it. You do have a lot of people being performative and trying to oversell and using this as an opportunity to make the content and try to put themselves on the quote unquote right side of history to show that, hey, I did say something, I did speak up. But a lot of these people are engaging with digital. A lot of these people are, just using this as an opportunity, which is fine, it's their business, but not all of it is genuine, and that's cool. Let me know inside the comments how you feel about it. Drop a link, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe. Let me know how you feel. I'll catch y'all outside the next one. Okay.